Welcome back to Herbal Bunny's Pharmacy. My name is Tamitha. Today we're going to be transplanting some tomatoes from the pots into my galvanized tubs. However, my soil that I got this year from the local nursery is not doing so good. My plants don't seem to like it, so I'm going to try to add some soil conditioner in. Let me show you the brand that I am using. I just have them kind of flopped down here. But this is the soil. My kids threw the rocks in there, and these are just gloves. But this here is supposed to have sand, steer manure, mushroom compost, and topsoil. And everything is also mixed with just regular garden compost, like grass clippings and stuff like that. And my plants were not doing so great. I planted these things out here, and as you see, just the grass is growing pretty well in here. But I planted all these out like a month ago, and they're the exact same size. I've added some fertilizer in here, and it still didn't seem to really do so great. So I'm just going to add in this soil conditioner, the organic. It's soil and mulch, and it's supposed to help with improve the structure of the soil, and there's nothing added to it. So we're going to go ahead and pour this in and mix it up in the current soil. So I'm going to go ahead, finish mixing this up, and then I'll pop the tomatoes in here after I give it a good watering. Okay, so I'm going to use some of this organic garden tone. I've been putting this in my plants and they seem to really love it. I got this at Lowe's as well. So you can actually pluck off some of these lower leaves like that. And I'm going to actually plant him up to those leaves right there. All right, there we go. I only put 3 in here. I was going to do 4, but these will get pretty big. So they are a yellow pear, an orange currant, and what was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was. The other one is a gold nugget, and I don't label them because they're here in my garden and I don't care to label them. But yeah, see how I planted the soil up to those leaves, because all those hairs will turn into roots and it's going to just be stronger and healthier. This one here, he's a boy. Woo-hoo. And there's that one there. So yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and add some of these little pine chips around it. This here is what I'm using. I got this from Walmart for like 10 bucks, and you have to be careful with what plants you use this around because it can make it a little too acidic. I have not had any issues with plants in the past with this in there. I don't know how fresh it is, but just for the past like 4 years I've been using it, I have not had any problems. So just don't go too crazy with it. So we just take a little bit and just kind of put it around our plant. This is going to help hold in moisture so you're not watering them as often. It can get pretty hot out here, and I don't want to be watering like 5 times a day. So we're just going to put that in here around our plants, just like so, just like that. So I think I'm going to actually add some leafy greens down below. I have some lettuces. I also have some spinach and some kale up here, and mustard. So I think I'll kind of cover up some of those spaces with that because I need to get them planted. And I was thinking about doing an eggplant, but I don't know. I don't think I will. But I do have some basil. I have some mustard, and so I think I'll get some of these blue spice basil and some of old are you? A dark opal basil and some leafy green. Here we go. I have all those tomatoes I need to plant. Oh, you. And we'll do some spinach. Okay, so the shade's moving in, but I finally got my stuff in there. So I have my little opal basil, I have some spinach, there's my 3 tomatoes, I have some more of that blue spice basil, and that is, what is he? That's the opal basil. So I got 3 spinaches. Where's the other one? Oh, he's over there. And let me show you the rest of my beds that had these pine chips. So first off, I want to compare a couple different tomatoes that I have out here. Turn the camera around so you can see my lovely face. I planted some of these beds at the same time, and one I used a different type of soil that I already had, where I mixed my own compost with like kitchen scraps, and I just kind of throw them out here, and leaves that I've raked up and stuff, compared to a couple of these other tomatoes in this other bed where I used at the nursery or landscaping soil. So let me turn the camera. Now I planted these tomatoes the same time as these other ones I'll show you, and they're looking really well, and I used the same pine chips. I planted some flowers in here. The flowers don't seem to be doing so hot, and it's not been super hot, so the peppers, I am being patient with him, but my tomatoes are doing very well. But let me show you. So the same time I planted these ones, same way with the pepper plants as well. So the pepper plants are kind of doing not as well as the other one, but still, you know, all these tomatoes were the same size and they just are not thriving. I did go and pull back the soil and put some of that gardening tone in here yesterday, so hopefully they will start to perk up. I use that same soil from the landscaping place in my radishes, and I did not put any of the pine chips down just because they won't do so well, but they're not really doing so hot in here. Anyway, these are like almost 2 months old, and they just are not doing, I mean, this in here is doing fairly decent, but they should be much bigger, and they should not be taking 2 months to come to maturity. And I just planted these tomatoes in here yesterday. They are bigger tomatoes. They're more the beefsteak tomatoes and the brandywine tomatoes, and I did put some other basil in here and some kale and the same wood chips, but I used a different type of fertilizer because I want to see what's really going to work best. I use this Miracle Grow Shake and Feed. I have used this in the past. I know a lot of people don't like using Miracle Grow because of all the synthetics and things in it, but I have used this one in the past before I started going more organically and whatnot. But I did want to see how this one would work. I have it left over from a couple years ago, so it may not work so great because it's old, but I want to use it up because I don't want to be wasting. Thanks for watching my video. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know if you tried some of these methods or a different method, and we'll look forward to reading your comments. All right, you guys, have a great day. Bye.